In the space between the words we said, there was everything we meant. In the silence of the unmade bed was every moment that we spent. The space between is where I live, between the take and the give. The space between is soft and real, the only place I truly feel. Between the leaving and the stay, between the night and early gray, I find myself in all the end, between where I have always been. The space between is where I live, between the take and the give. The space between is soft and real, the only place I truly feel. I don't need the edges, I just need the middle, soft and unresolved, like an unanswered riddle. Space between here. There's a low language in the evening that doesn't need words to be said, a warmth in the quiet receiving of everything left instead. Low language felt not heard, below the reach of any word. Low language, warm and clear, the language only felt from near. Low language, deep and wide, the language of the insomnia. I live in the shallow depth of things, where feeling is both close and far, in the space that the surface brings, before you reach the deeper scar. Shallow depth, this is enough, where things are tender before they're tough. Shallow depth, close to the top, where I can touch and then can stop. Not every dive needs to go deep. Some beauty lives right at the edge. Some truths are better kept to keep, right there along the water's ledge. Shallow depth, this is enough, where things are tender before they're tough. Shallow depth, close to the top, where I can touch and then can stop. Shallow is not shallow. Shallow is just honest about how close to the surface some of the best things live. Right here at the surface, where the light still reaches, that's deep enough. There's a frequency that stays still, while everything around it moves. A tone beneath the noise until the world finds back its grooves. Still frequency, always there, the note beneath the rushing air. Still frequency, mine and real, the constant underneath the feel. Still frequency, low and true, the note that carries me back to you. Myself to stillness first, before I face the moving day. The frequency that quenches thirst, before the loudness comes to play. Still frequency, always there, the note beneath the rushing air. Still frequency, mine and real, the constant underneath the feel. Still frequency, before the morning finds me here, before it asks me who I've been. I wanna hold this dark, sincere, and everything it holds between, before morning finds me in this quiet I have made, before morning reminds me of everything the light has said. The morning is so full of questions. The dark requires nothing much, just presence without the suggestions of who I am supposed to touch, before morning finds me in this quiet I have made, before morning reminds me of everything the light has said. A few more minutes in the dark that asks nothing. A few more minutes before the day begins its asking. Not yet, just a little more dark. Just this. Everything I feel waxes and wanes, like the light behind the clouds. Some weeks full and some weeks faint, some days quiet, some days loud. Wax and wane, this is fine. Everything moves in its own time. Wax and wane, tide and turn, this is how I questions in my quiet vow to let things be beyond my powers. Evening that consider paid in all the time I've stayed. Evening that settles slow and everything I let go. Evening that clear tonight by simply sitting in the light. The night asked only that I show, without agenda, without need, just presence in the afterglow of everything I've let recede. Evening that consider paid in all the time I've stayed. Evening that settles slow and everything I let go. Evening that clear tonight by simply sitting in the light that cleared. The night and I are even. See you tomorrow. The low window shows a different city than the one the high floors know. More detail, more ordinary beauty, more of the actual below. Low window, this is mine. Ground level, human design. Low window, close and real. The city at the scale of feel. I've lived at every height in cities and learned I always come back down. The low window holds through the low window. Everything I need to see. Right there. Half awake and half inside. A dream I haven't finished yet. Somewhere between the dark and light. A place I haven't learned to let. Half awake, half somewhere else. Better than either by itself. Half awake, warm and loose. Nothing left to win or lose. Half awake, soft in between. The best place I have ever been. I don't reach for the phone tonight. Don't check the hour or the news. I stay inside this borderlight, this comfortable kind of confused. Half awake, half somewhere else. Better than either by itself. Half awake, warm and loose. Nothing left to win or lose. Half awake, soft in between. The best place I have ever been. Don't wake me yet. This in between is good. I handle myself like porcelain, like something that could crack with sound. I move through rooms so careful in the way seek. Midnight porcelain, cold and fine, holding everything that's mine. Midnight porcelain, don't let go. Some things break so soft, you know. I am still here, unbroken enough. Rising slow in glass and light through the floors of other lives. Each window holds a different night. Each story where someone survives. Glass elevator, let me see all the lives I'll never be. Glass elevator, rising still, not against and not until. Glass elevator, floors of light. I am passing through tonight. On the 14th, there's a woman reading something by a lamp. On the 9th, a man is human in the way he looks so damp. Glass elevator, let me see all the lives I'll never be. Glass elevator, rising still, not against and not until. Glass elevator, floors of light. I am passing through tonight. Floor by floor, everyone surviving in their own way. Hmm. a slide. Signal makes his quiet shout. Open bandwidth. Receive it all. Everything that comes to call. Open bandwidth, wide and clear, picking up what wants to be here. Open bandwidth, soft and live, taking everything the night will give. Some nights the signal is just static. Some nights it carries something true. I've stopped being so emphatic about which kind comes through. Open bandwidth, receive it all. Everything that comes to call. Open bandwidth, wide and clear, picking up what wants to be here. Open bandwidth, soft and live, taking everything the night will give. Receiving. Open and receiving. Something always comes through. The fog came in without announcement, covered everything in soft. No dramatic pronouncement, just the low and drifting loft. Fog index, visibility low. Only feeling what I know. Fog index, soft and gray, hiding what I can't convey. Fog index, close and near, everything unclear but clear. The slow return to who I am takes longer than I thought it would. Not dramatic, not a program, just quietly becoming good. Slow return, no need to rush. Back to self is not a rush. The slow return, step by step, back to everything I kept. The slow return, soft and long, back to where I most belong. I recognize myself in pieces, in moments caught between the noise. Slowly all the tension increases into something close to poise. Slow return, no need to rush. Back to self is not a rush. The slow return, step by step, back to everything I kept. The slow return, soft and long, back to where I most belong. Still returning, almost there, almost myself again. The night leaves residue on me, long after morning tries to clean. A trace of what I used to be before the daylight intervened. Night residue, soft remain. Something good in what the dark obtained. Night residue, mine to keep. The trace of the most honest sleep. Night residue, real and warm. The self I am beyond the form. I started cherishing the trace of who I am when no one watches. The night reveals a softer face. The daylight carefully botches. Night residue, soft remain. Something good in what the dark obtained. Night residue, mine to keep. The trace of the most honest sleep. into the day. That's the best part of me.